Welcome to another episode of Odds and Wages. Man, I'm so excited for today, man. Man, it was a crazy game yesterday, man. But before we get into that, please make sure you like and subscribe and make sure you go follow on Instagram at Odds and Wages, man. With that being said, bro, I got my man Max Anthony on the line with me, man. But bro, it was a crazy game yesterday, man. It was so much that went on yesterday, man. Tell me how you felt about that game, man. Talk to me. How did you feel about that game, Tom?
Yeah, that was a hell of a game. I really enjoyed every minute of it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it came down to the best players. The team with the best players almost always win in the NBA, and
Mm-hmm.
that was just a testament to it last night. You know, Kyrie did his thing the first half of the ball game, and
Mm-hmm.
Luka took him on.
Uncle
15
Magic.
point fourth quarter.
Mm. Yeah.
And yeah, Anthony Edwards, he looked tired out there. He looked really tired out
Yeah,
there.
he
I
too
don't know
young
if
for
it's
that though.
from the gauntlet of last series
Uh-huh.
or, he wasn't just, getting it going. But at the end of the day, you know, they gave you all they could, and he was a really close game. The difference was just team execution down the line, fourth
Yeah.
quarter, and Dallas they handle business.
Definitely, man. Dallas, man. Kyrie, man. This is the Kyrie I love to see, man. After all that talk, Anthony Edwards was talking about, oh yeah, my primary assignment is gonna be to guard Kyrie. It's gonna be fun. Kyrie said, fun for only me. Fun for only me. He came, he went there and dropped 30 on his ass. But yeah, man, Kyrie showed up big time, and like you said, Luka Doncic, man. Second half down the stretch, man. That boy could not miss. And then you could not forget about Jaden McDaniels, man. He was hitting them threes. When Jaden McDaniels was hitting them threes, man, it just reminded me of me, man. Back in the day, I used to hit them threes the same way he was hitting them threes, man. So, it just gave me a little flashback.
What movie was that?
Hey, man, stop act like I wasn't hitting them threes on your ass, too, man.
But
Hey,
yeah,
but,
hey,
man.
but Jaden McDaniels,
Yeah.
just like I predicted, it's can't really nobody guard Luca, man.
Yeah.
Like Luca's just gonna be Luca.
Yeah.
Like good luck,
Always.
you
Always.
know.
Always. Hey, you said you predicted Jaden McDaniels. What about the prediction you made that didn't come through, man? You said Kyrie was going to drop more than 4.5 assists, man. Man, you lied to the
Hey,
people,
yeah,
man.
4 or 6. Um
You lied to the
Last
people,
night
man.
was the first time in this all playoff run that Kyrie came out aggressive as a scorer, other than being a facilitator.
Yeah.
And that's what I've been clamoring for Kyrie, all this time.
Yeah.
I said, he's gonna have to do that to have a chance against Minnesota, and that's exactly what he did. He
Yeah.
came out, got aggressive, and you know, so I guess we'll see what happens next game.
Yeah, yeah, definitely, man. So, man, I think another big takeaway I had was like you said, Anthony Edwards. He was just tired, man. Like he's too young. He's what 22, 23, man. Come on, man. Like what were you doing, man? Like this is the conference finals, man. You gotta show that grit. You gotta show that no matter the circumstance, you still have to be out there to play, man. And he's the leader of the team. You cannot show your teammates that you're tired. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to give it your all. But with that being said, man, so like game two, what are you expecting? Like what do you think is going to change? What adjustments are you expecting from Minnesota? What adjustment are you expecting from Dallas? And then what do you think are the best bets for that game as well? Who should we look out for when it comes to betting?
I think Minnesota, they gotta get Anthony Edwards going. They gotta figure out a way. Because if you watched the game last night,
Uh-huh.
Dallas, so this is the best defense that Minnesota had, played against since the playoffs started. Like
Okay.
Dallas they really like that for real.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Last night they were loaded up on Anthony Edwards, and other guys beat him.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And so basically it's like cutting off the head of the snake.
Yep.
So the game two, the coaching staff, they just got to figure out a way to get Anthony Edwards going. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Pick and rolls. Whatever switch is. Just get him going, regardless of double team or whatnot. I feel like that team feeds off of Anthony Edwards' energy. He gets it
Yeah.
going. He talking this shit.
Yep.
Going playing downhill.
Yeah.
Everybody else just speed off with that, and it's gonna be a better game for him.
Yeah.
So I think that's the major uh changes.
Yeah.
Major change that they gotta.
They gotta get him off Kyrie too, man, because Kyrie put that walk on him too, man. They gotta do that adjustment and put
I
someone
mean,
else on
that's
top.
Kyrie, man. He's gonna put that work for anybody. For real. I mean, but hey, Kyrie had like what 30 points.
Yeah.
He had like 33 points.
Uh-huh.
I still feel like Minnesota did a good job.
Oh, they did. They
Both
did.
of them.
Yeah.
Because Kyrie both of them took over 25 shots
Mm-hmm.
apiece. That's a
Yeah.
lot of shots.
It
You know
is,
what I'm
it
saying?
is.
Like, so, I mean, if you're gonna take 26 shots and drop 33, like I'm cool with that all day.
Mm-hmm.
I just gotta make sure that the other guys don't get going.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, I mean, I feel like if Minnesota, if they had a better offense down the stretch in the fourth quarter, I feel like they'll win that game.
Okay.
It was more of their stagnant offense than their defense on
Okay.
Dallas star players. So
Yeah.
they're gonna take the game two is gonna be fun.
Okay. And what are your best bets? Like, what players should we look out for when it comes to betting? Who do you think is guaranteed if you put your money on?
Um, I'm just gonna go. I'm just gonna go with what I think that Minnesota should do about like bringing Anthony Edwards up.
Okay.
And it's a really he played with ego. He got some pride.
Okay.
He had a really bad game. I predicted it was gonna go under.
Yeah, you did. You did. You did.
Yesterday, and that's exactly what he did.
Uh-huh.
Next game, I'm looking forward to Anthony Edwards,
Bounce
come
back.
out and drop at least 35.
Mm. He might
yeah,
go for 50.
yeah, yeah. Because he every time during playoffs, every time he had a subpar game, he always, he got the best bounce back game.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I'm looking forward to Anthony Edwards like going over
Okay.
his point spread,
Okay.
and I think Luka gonna go over.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
and then yeah, and I always bet over on Nasri.
Nasri, man. yeah.
So those three is gonna be my best bets
Mm-hmm.
for game two. I'm going Luka over, Anthony Edwards over, and Nasri over.
Yeah, yeah. You know what? I don't think there's anything I can add to that. I was gonna say Jaden McDaniels again, but then he a role player. He just got hot yesterday. I don't think he's gonna get hot again on the next game. But yeah. But those three picks,
He gained a lot of confidence last night, though.
yeah, he did. So you know what, man? You know what? I'm gonna add Jaden McDaniels to that. Yeah, I think hopefully he don't have a cold game, but even if he has a cold game, getting 10 points shouldn't be a problem for him as well.
Right.
So yeah, so now moving on to game two, we talked about game two of the Western Conference. What we should expect from Minnesota and Dallas and all that. So now, what about game two of the Celtics and the Pacers? Are you expecting a fight from the Pacers in this game two tonight? What are you expecting from the Pacers, and what do you think the Celtics are going to bring in this game too?
I mean, it's the conference finals. There's always going to be a fight. This fighting for the ticket to go to the big dance.
Yeah.
So it's always going to be a fight.
Okay.
Everybody going to give it their all, and all the players going to be aggressive. I think Halliburton going to be aggressive.
Okay.
Siakam is going to be really aggressive. Especially after they lost game one. That was really
Especially in that fashion than
disappointing.
us.
So yeah, they're gonna come out aggressive, but the flip side of it is, I think Celtics gonna come out more aggressive than they did the last game.
Yeah.
Because I feel like Celtics coming to that game thinking like we lost last game for real.
Yeah.
Like we
Mm-hmm.
played like jack shit.
Yeah.
Ain't no way we let many Pacers just come into our house and punk us like that the last game.
Thousand
So I
percent.
feel like they're gonna come out, you know, and be really aggressive and take into. So
Yeah.
you know, I don't know what the point spread is, but I know I'm betting on Celtics winning game two for sure.
Okay.
I think they have to, to
Okay.
get their confidence back. You know, because Pacers got the more victory game one. They was just stupid down the line.
Yeah.
You
Mm-hmm.
know,
Just
so yeah,
crazy ass
I,
errors.
I, I expect both teams to come prepared, but
Okay.
I think Celtics gonna ultimately like take the game.
Okay. And what players do you think is like if we're trying to bet, what players you think are good for the player props? A good bet for the player props.
For the player props,
Mm-hmm.
just remember game one we had pressure going over.
Yeah. He scored nine
Yeah,
points.
he was 1 point.
Yeah, 1 point off. Yeah.
Yeah, he was 1 point off.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll give pressure one more try. I'll
Okay.
go pressure again.
Okay.
You know, yeah, because you know the pace style of basketball just it's fast. Spacing.
Mm-hmm.
Shoot a lot of threes. So I feel like that plays into Pritchard's strength. So
Yeah.
I'm really, looking forward to Pritchard covering that game.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I'm gonna go. I'll offer.
Old man Hofford, huh?
Yeah. It's over and under is like 15,
Okay.
15, or something like that. No, it's like 11.
Okay.
He had 15 the last game, so
Okay.
it's like 11.
Uh-huh.
And and Porzingis ain't gonna play, so
Yeah. Pausing is out.
Alfred's gonna be, um, is gonna have a lot of time to do what he does down in the paint, and he shoots a lot of threes too, and
He
he's a
does.
3-point shooter. So
He does.
I'm looking forward to Alfred scoring over 12 points for sure.
Okay.
Yeah,
Man,
and
yeah.
yeah, I would bet Siakam going over,
Mm.
but golly, Siakam.
See, I come out there playing like you, man.
Siakam just, like you would expect Siakam to come out tonight and go crazy and
Yeah.
be aggressive
Uh-huh.
as hell because you don't want to go down 2-0
Yeah.
going back to Pacers.
Yeah.
I mean going back to Indiana.
Yeah.
But I mean that's ultimately what's going to happen. But and now I feel like the Pacers thinking like they're not like they're thinking like not only can we play with this nigga, we can actually beat this niggas. You know what I'm saying? So I'm looking forward to see how to. I think it's gonna cover.
Okay.
I'm not I don't really like betting on Siakam like that because
Yeah.
it's just so disappointing sometimes.
Yeah.
But
Mhm.
I think it is gonna be a good. It is gonna be a good bet.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. For me, right, I feel like you touched on one of the people who I'm actually looking forward to when it comes to the betting side, which is Peyton Pritchard. I feel like he's gonna have, he was 1 point off. He was at 9. He didn't just make any shots, down the stretch. But I feel like he should cover the 10 points in today's game. And another person, who didn't really have a show out game the last time, who I think is going to step up, is going to be what's his name, Derek White. Last game it was Drew Holiday who had a big game, and I think he took a backseat a little bit to Drew Holiday because Drew Holiday was having such a good game. But I think this game, I'm putting my money on Derek White as well, man. I'm putting my money on Derek White as
And
well.
what's his over and under?
It's like a 15.5, so he needs 16 points.
And it's another one. I'm betting Tyrese over 8.5 assists.
Oh, Tyrese Halliburton.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, he should because he really has to be the floor general in today's game as well. As he has to score, but he has to be a floor general as well. So I feel like that's a
Yeah.
good bet. I feel like that's a good bet. Man, I'm excited for game two, man. I'm excited for game two, man. We're gonna check back in after game twos and we're gonna see what our bet are talking about, man. Hopefully we can make the people some money. And with that being said, man, once again, man, I'm grateful for you being on this show, man. Thank you guys for tuning into another episode of Odds and Wagers podcast, man. Remember, like and subscribe and make sure you go follow on Instagram, man. Thank you, Tony.
All right, my man.
Yes, sir.
Talk to you later.
Yes, sir.
All right, bro.